Whoa, whoa, whoa. Feel like I've been here before. Traveling down a long, dark road, deep in your eyes. Yeah, yeah. This is chestnut checkers. I'm making choices till I don't stop, get rid of them. All right. Okay, ending the live on TikTok. Again, no one pulled up because everyone's a coward, because everyone's afraid, and mainly because I can't invite guests up, but that's fine. We're going to get this TikTok stuff figured out, and once we do, we're going to start invading TikTok. But as for now, I'll leave you, what's a good insult I can call you guys? Children, kids, alone. We out. Gotta go live one more day. Cool. 5 views, no likes, no gifts. Cool, 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 cool. All right, let's log on to the YouTube so I can see my chat. Oh, Kariba replied to me. Maybe we can talk about that. Feel like I've been here before. Down a long, dark road, deep in your mind. Oh, Kariba. All right. Hey, what's good, Kai? How you doing, bro? Yeah, we can talk about that. What's up? What's up? Let me disconnect my phone from this. Turn off the Wi-Fi. Not Wi-Fi. Turn off the Bluetooth. There we go. Beautiful. Give me 1 second. Let me get my old man glasses. Get them old man glasses ready. All right. And let me get my headphones. Though I won't need the headphones right now, so that's fine. We'll just put them to the side. Good. I'm missing one thing. I am missing one thing. And someone's calling me. Yo.
Jimmy.
What's up?
Don said come have a drink with us.
I don't drink, number one. Number two, I'm live. But that won't stop me from saying I love you guys and have fun and be safe.
What do you mean, Jimmy?
I'm literally live right now, Juan. You're.
All right, let's pack it up.
Ain't no. We just started. We about to get lit.
No.
Fuck you talking about?
No, not there.
Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this fool, man? What's good, Chaos? How you doing? Call them pronouners. Then that'll insult some people. I don't want to get banned or what's the word? Canceled. Go ahead, Juan.
Man, it's time to go.
Yeah, it's time for you to start streaming. I don't know why you're playing games.
No, we're not streaming right now.
Yes, we are. And Jimmy got a show to run. Yeah. But you guys take it easy. Oh, fuck. And a stretch.
You're not gonna go with us?
You should be relaxing after the gym workout. Is what you should be doing.
I'm not to go, but relax.
Good man. I don't really drink myself, but I'd be lying if I said I don't love me some moonshine. What's good, Shinigami? Never had moonshine. Is moonshine good, Juan? Doing a draw.
Yeah, who making it?
Depends on who's making it. Gotcha.
Need that country joint. You know you good.
All right. But all right, Juan. Let me get out of here. I'm about to start up.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, guys, first off, hello. How you guys doing? How are we doing today? Hoping everything's going well for all you guys. Blessings in abundance. I hope today was better than yesterday, and I hope yesterday was great. I certainly enjoyed it. But I gotta put some lotion on. Kind of ashy. Anyways, aside from my ashiness. Anyways. Hey, what's good, John? What's good? I wanted to start off this live again by covering something that we had talked about yesterday, and that being chakra auras and chakra flows. What do you think of the Itachi video? I'm doing about black right now. From Seth. Oh, well, yeah, let me talk about that, I guess, real quick. So, the Itachi Solo's 99% of fiction video, of course, it was a absolute glaze fest. I didn't agree with... Well, so first off, it really was just Itachi in Naruto versus the Bleach verse. That's what it really was. Like, every example they used, they brought up a Bleach character. Every instance where something would work or wouldn't work, they brought up a Bleach character's reference. So that's what it really was, under the guise of Itachi versus 99% of fiction. Of course, I disagreed with a vast majority of the things. And I kind of came to an understanding that me, Noodles, and Seth, and I mean, and everybody, right? We all have different scaling philosophies, different scaling schools of thought, so to speak. Like, these guys think that if an ability hasn't been shown to be resisted by a character, then it doesn't matter how powerful that character is. Ergo, if they've never shown resistance, they can be affected by the attack that they've never resisted. I think completely differently than that. I believe that you, as the challenging party, if you're weaker, your ability must scale up to the person that you're attacking or trying to affect. So yeah, we kind of just have different fundamentals, if you will. What's good, Karibo? How you doing? But I wanted to get into this because back into this chakra auras thing, I got tagged in another conversation. Well, not I got tagged, but my man Godflow asked me a question. What did he say? Let's go to the beginning of that real quick. So yeah, the conversation I was having with Karibo and this guy Capping Cat, Godflow comes in and he asks me, well, no, he tags me in this post, chakra, aura, and presence, and we're going to get into the post. You're in a glazing competition and your opponent is a Naruto fan. You winning? Nah, bro. I don't think I'd win against any fan, honestly, because it just doesn't serve me to do that. I have no reason to hyperinflate a character. I have no reason to wank them. I literally have no reason to do it. And it all depends on how we're scaling, right? So if you tell me, hey, yeah, we're taking all statements as true. If you tell me we're including data books, novels, and whatever, I'll get a character to where I think they scale, including all that stuff, but I have no reason to wank them to, like, yeah, even like saying that is kind of weird. It's like, yo, what do you mean you can get him this fast? What do you mean you can get him this strong? He either is this strong because you got him there legitimately, or he's not, and you're going to be using things to hyperinflate the results you're getting. But yeah. So yeah, back to the chakra and aura and presence thing, because this is becoming a somewhat of an annoying conversation. I said yesterday that Naruto fans want Naruto to be like Bleach, and that holds true in this latest analysis or this latest review of a thread on Twitter. So I'll go through the entire conversation. So I go through the thread first. He tags me in the thread. I go through the thread. I say, oh God. He says, what? I say, this was somehow worse than the first thread, the Captain Cat's thread, his thread, this guy right here, the one we read yesterday. I said, this one was somehow worse. He says, explain what's wrong with it. I say, most of the entire thread is just pyramiding inferences and has no foundation within the series. He's taking things that happen in the series and applying his own interpretation. It's essentially all headcanon. He also doesn't define presence versus aura, and the ability list is cap. I wanted to say a little bit more, but I was kind of running out of characters to type. So before we get into his responses to these things, let's actually take a look at the thread. Now, here is the goal for all you watchers right now. The goal for you guys is to tell me by the end of this thread, can you define what chakra aura is and presence? That's the goal. Look out for that. Can you define? I'm going to read everything in its entirety. The goal is define what chakra aura is and presence. So this is guy Arcanium or Arcanum. I'm going to just say Arcanium because it sounds better. So let's get into the thread itself. He says, and remember, your goal is to define chakra, aura, and presence. Define those two things by the end of this. He says, chakra aura is very well established early on to be either a consciously accessible ability for stat amplification or a backfiring of the misuse of chakra, which forms a distorted chakra cloak around the user. Now, I have a problem with this initial posit, right? Because if chakra aura is the stat amplification, then what is chakra control for? Because it's not like you're using something different than chakra control, right? So that's one of the first issues. Wait, is he trying to say Orochimaru in that video wasn't using a jutsu? I think so, bro. I think so. And he goes to it again. But I'm like, all right, we're talking about chakra aura and presence, and the first thing your thread has is Orochimaru performing hand signs indicating he's doing a ninjutsu, not something purely chakra based. Like, it don't get more than ninjutsu than that. But anyways, he says chakra aura is very well established early on to be either a consciously accessible ability for stat amplification. That's an interesting choice of words, being that there's not... See, the problem he's going to run into with me is nothing in the series actually supports the things he's saying, which is why I said he's pyramiding inferences, right? And if you're not familiar with that, you can look up pyramiding inferences. It's just basically taking an assumption. It's basically just using conjecture. It's taking something you presume to be true, and off that assumption, you're positing other things to be true based off that one assumption, or based off a assumption. That's what essentially this thread is. Ab-Stract, he gave 3 examples. Only one of those was... I'm going to have to look at that later, God. So yeah, the first issue is, of course, for the stat amplification. I have no idea where he's getting this information from. Chakra aura being a stat amplifier would kind of go against chakra control being a stat amplifier. Nowhere is chakra aura ever mentioned in the series. Yeah. And then another example he has is of Delta in Boruto. But this is kind of interesting as well, because we would kind of need a comparison of her just existing without her chakra aura and then her fighting like this. But then here's the thing. It's not like in Naruto when you power up, your energy stays cloaked on you. That's not what happens. Like, this isn't a new form for Delta, right? So are you attributing this to her performing better when in actuality it's more than likely just her chakra control or her her limited stat boost is going towards all her physicals? It's very weird. It's very weird. And then he has this thing right here. Direct hit. No, the ball of flames split perfectly into two in front of him. It didn't look like he had executed some kind of jutsu, and it wasn't as though his body were cloaked in some... I can't right now. All right, I need that to get out of here. All right, it doesn't look like his body was cloaked in some special aura to Itachi. It was like the ball of flames itself had decided to split on its own in front of the man. So this is the other thing. He's meshing novel things, anime things, and manga things, where we don't have a concrete basis for the things he's postulating, though, right? You reading this, and it wasn't as though his body were cloaked in some kind of special aura, right? So that tells us something like a special aura can exist, right? And I don't think anyone's denying that, right? That tells us some type of a special aura can exist. I don't have a problem with that. But it's everything else, right? And wait till you guys see the end of this. He then goes on to say, aura can produce shocking effects on its own, flaring up when chakra is being externally employed, as chakra is unconsciously molded in the Kirakiku of the shinobi. I probably butchered the shit out of that. It pretty much acts as a starting point of where the pressure is held, and from then on can be released. Right? Now, mind you, I don't have to ask you guys. He hasn't defined chakra aura one time. He hasn't defined presence one time. He's really just ambiguously stating these things and having either panels, gifts, or novel things right behind them as if they correlate to each other. Nothing about these things follows logically. Nothing so far here follows logically. That's the main issue I have with this thing. What Delta did is the same thing Naruto did, facing Gar, which was just releasing a massive amount of chakra. Exactly. But even if we want to give her, even if we want to give it to her though, Kai, the fact that there's no basis for any of these claims is what's going to hurt him. That is what's going to hurt him, and that is what is hurting him. So look, we have Zabuza in his demon chakra aura cloak mode, right? Can anyone tell me what this does for Zabuza? Can anyone tell me what this does for Zabuza at all? Could you prove it actually increases his stats? Can you prove it debilitates his enemies? Because they still fought him after this. They were still ready to fight him after this. Why does he use words like assume if it's an actual thing? Exactly. So we have Zabuza and Haku really being one of the only two people who really like exude that type of force or hold up, let me get this out of here. Yeah. Right. Absolutely nothing beside being intimidated by intimidating to weaker people. Exactly. Like, let me keep going. He then says, in Naruto's case, there was a lot of chakra to begin with, which was backfiring in the misuse of it, causing his aura alone to generate a lot of pressure without release. This is all headcanon. Nowhere in these scans will you find anything he just said. I'll read it again. In Naruto's case, there was a lot of chakra to begin with, which was backfiring in the misuse of it, causing his aura alone to generate a lot of pressure without release. Let's look at everything here and find if we can. We're going to be looking for this. We'll be looking for backfiring, misuse, and causing his aura alone to generate a lot of pressure without release. That's what we're going to be looking for. So we have Iruka teaching Naruto and the kids. This sucks, but here goes nothing. Cool. The next panel, we get the explanation from Naruto and Ebisu. Something I've read multiple times, so I already know it's not in here. So Sasuke is not great after all. Haha. Well, you're in no position to be laughing. You're even more worse than Sasuke at manipulating chakra. So you end up producing 50% instead of the required 30%. And furthermore, your chakra control for initiating techniques through signs is so poor that you can only use 10% instead of the necessary 30%. So this is talking about how trash Naruto is at chakra control, right? Let me know when we hear any of the qualifiers that we were looking for, though. Hopefully I can find them on the side. Yeah, let me know if we find anything about backfiring, misuse, or generating a lot of pressure without release. Let me know if we see that stuff. He says, yeah, so you end up with only 50% left in reserve. Waste 40% and barely create a single doppelganger. This is how different the three of you are just comparing the same technique. Well, this shows the difference between you three in a slightly exaggerated way, but Naruto, you produce too much chakra and thus expend too much energy, and your technique initiation is also unstable. But there have been times when I was way better than Sasuke or Sakura. So, guys, after reading, well, we're not done. Let's go on to the next one. But a scratch is all it would take. And see, here's the disingenuous shit right here, right? I don't even need to read all this. he's showing this panel right here as a means to show, oh look, the chakras enveloping their bodies. But all this was just a visual representation of how the fiery fist looks versus the gentle fist. When you look at Neji right now, where's his aura? Where is it? Where is it? Like, this is a sneaky, disingenuous thing. And this is why I always gotta say, you gotta watch out for how people argue and debate. I don't even have to address this one. So we can clearly see that none of those panels addressed Naruto having his chakra backfire or it causing any type of pressure without relief, like none of that stuff. This is why I said it's essentially all headcanon and he's just pyramiding inferences. We never heard of someone trying to release chakra and it backfiring just because, like, come on, bro, just making shit up. Remember when Mike Guy broke his body because of excess power, like when Kenpachi used his Bankai? Absolute cinema. Come on now. Then he says, listen, ayo, Kai, you gonna get a kick out of this one, Kai. Kai, listen to this shit. He says, chakra aura can be negated via stats, but presence can't. Think of it like this. Inverse, there are means to counteract aura, whereas presence, if need be, must be resisted in any case. I'm going to let that marinate. Aura that isn't emitting pressure is just battle chakra cloak, which signifies chakra employment. Aura that isn't emitting pressure is just battle chakra cloak, which signifies chakra employment. Let's do it again. Chakra aura can be negated via stats, but presence can't. Has he defined presence yet? Has he defined chakra aura or presence yet? No. We don't know what the fuck these things are. He's just... Yo. Hold on. Right. Hold on. Hold on. He hasn't defined the goddamn thing yet. Chakra aura can be negated via stats, but presence can't. Can someone tell me, first off, what chakra aura is in an instance it was negated via stats? Thank you. Since when did they ever state in Naruto that chakra has negating properties without a specific jutsu being involved? Ask the guy that's pyramiding inferences. Ask the guy that is using strictly headcanon. This is why I didn't engage this any further than what I did this morning, because I knew when I got on live today, I was just going to slow roast the shit out of this thread. And I hope you watch this video. Feel free to respond. We can link up in spaces. We can meet on Discord. It really doesn't matter, because we're halfway through your thread and you haven't defined chakra aura or presence, right? And then when we get to the explanation of what you do define it as, we're going to find out that's convoluted. Wait until we get to that. So he says chakra aura can be negated via stats, but presence can't. Right? And I don't even know what is this supposed to be an example of? In that case, Surugetsu is the only scary ass nigga here, right? Sasuke is sweating a little bit, but Surugetsu is the only scary ass nigga here. What was negated? And is this presence or aura? Is him causing this destruction to the environment chakra presence or chakra aura? The fact that I can't tell if this is chakra presence or chakra aura or just presence in general happening tells us that this was not executed properly. Now we're talking presence. Okay, cool. So he says, now we're talking presence, like seriously. But hold up. Didn't he do this with chakra? So if we're talking chakra, why are we talking about his presence? Unless at the beginning of his thread, unless at the beginning of his thread, he really meant chakra aura and chakra presence and just didn't say it. If he meant that, that almost clears it up. But it's still like a miss because we have two. We would have the same thing going on in that instance. In my dreams, that's when they said it. I'm back again, and you're debunking Naruto wank, bro. I'm doing the Soul King's work out here. I'm doing Shibai's work too, because if he came back and saw all this bullshit, he would clean it up as well. Jumping to, it can only be resisted in verse before giving a clear definition is very, very bad sign. Thank you, Grid. Thank you. If you're just jumping in this and that's the first thing you've seen, you don't even need to pick up the rest. You already know what's fucked up. Let's continue though. Let's continue. So last thing he said, let me read all his scans, right? So he says chakra aura can be negated via stats, but presence can't. Think of it like this. In verse, there are means to counteract aura, whereas presence, if need be, must be resisted in a case. I still don't know what the fuck presence is or what it can do to you or what it does. He's just asserting these things with actual no evidence. Aura that isn't emitting pressure is just battle chakra cloak, which signifies chakra employment. Okay, cool. So we saw this one. I don't know if okay, yeah, we're talking presence now. Seriously, cool. And even, hold up. Even this right here was what Suigetsu was talking about, if I remember correctly, was that Suigetsu was saying, yeah, the first Hokage, he seems like a chill guy. He seems like a joke. When he starts flexing, now he's talking about presence. So it's not even chakra presence. It's not even chakra, because I swear to God, Suigetsu was like, oh, this is the first Hokage? He can't be all that. The only reason he's saying this now is because he's feeling his chakra, or he's seeing the results of his chakra. So he's not even talking about presence. He's just saying, oh, this is presence. This is what a Hokage should be. Golly, man. See, you let the, we're going to keep going. So this comes from the, I don't remember what novel this comes from, but it's the thing for Kakashi. Oh yeah, this comes from Kakashi's Hinden novel, the one where he's fighting the ice ninja, right? So it says, sighing, he released the battle spirit cloaking his body. Now again, he has several things going on. He has the manga going on. He has gifts from the anime going on, and he has novelizations going on. The issue is he has no grounding for any of these things. The novel can say, sighing, he released the battle spirit, but the novel can say battle spirit. The manga has never established anything like that. The anime has never established anything like that. So when you just put it in there, it doesn't have a leg to stand on. It doesn't make it credible. We can say, oh, battle aura, and then we can presume what that means to us. We can use our minds. But when you're talking to me, if you're asking my opinion on the thread, and I say, well, yeah, he's not pulling anything from the actual manga. He's pyramiding inferences. A lot of this stuff is just headcanon. You don't really have anything to say. You kind of just have to sit there and take that as true, because I haven't seen any shred of evidence yet. All right. So let's move on to the next thing. He says, chakra presence ignores status in other ways. Manga Hiruzen is killed over due to pressure despite him scaling above Orochimaru massively. You can argue mentally Hiruzen wasn't even willing to stop him, however, it doesn't scale to the user since it's concentrated outside of them. Now, here's the thing. We already know what happened in the anime version. Orochimaru did a full-on jutsu. Here, I have no context for what happened at all. And if this is the image he's using, he has no basis to claim that Chakra did any of this stuff. Because if you're using this as the example that you're providing, and the only thing that happens is we see him knocked over, Saratobi on the ground, Enma on the ground. Where did you just get that was from Chakra? Where did you get that? Where did you get they were killed over from Chakra? Serious ass question. Where did you get it? Unless you're pyramiding inferences, unless you're taking a presumption you had and you keep building on that presumption to get to new conclusions that don't exist because you don't have any foundation. I dare you to make a response video to this shit too. I dare you to comment under the video. So yeah, let's read it again. Chakra presence ignores status in other ways. Manga heroism is killed over. Prove it. Prove that was due to Orochimaru's chakra. Prove it. This is one of his other screenshots. The fist was that of a member of the Uchiha clan. Narrowed. The first was that of a member of the Uchiha clan thought to have died in the Great War, had survived, and became the man in the mask. It was a general rule that if a member of the Uchiha clan died in battle, their Sharingan would be brought. And this is the second point. Itachi should have abandoned this second option, but for some reason, he couldn't completely put it aside. He had felt the man's overwhelming chakra, his powerful presence for himself. Very interesting how it separates the two. He had felt the man's overwhelming chakra, comma, his powerful presence. This isn't speaking about his fucking chakra at this point. This is speaking about the stature of the man. This is speaking about the what would you call it? You could even call it aura. Semantically, you could even call it aura if you wanted to. Because aura is a real thing in life. Like how we say, oh, aura, negative aura. That's a real thing. But very funny, very no, not even funny. Very accurate for them to distinguish the man's overwhelming chakra and his powerful presence. Military men have a powerful presence just because of how they've been, I don't want to say raised, but like trained. Their presence is powerful, right? There are people in the world that can command a room just by entering the room. That's a powerful presence. He still hasn't defined powerful presence, though, and how it links into any of this shit. Whether if it's chakra presence, pressure, or aura, it doesn't come anywhere close to ki or reiatsu pressure. And that's it. And that's a whole lot. Hey, bro, but chaos, I don't even want to make it about verses, right? I just want to stick to what's being postulated in his thread, if it's accurate. And if it is, let's take it. Let's run with it. Let's do something with it. And if it's not, burn that shit to the ground. Suigetsu even said, now that's presence, when Hashirama flexed his chakra to show Tobirama to stop what he was even doing. Even Tobirama said to Hashirama, no need to flare up. Exactly. Huh? How would Orochimaru have more presence than Hiruzu and not kill him? But yet he planned to attack the leap when Hiruzu was old because he wasn't up to his level yet. Yo, that was genius. Hey, Kai, that was genius. That was genius. Someone a couple of weeks ago mentioned that most Naruto scholars have this deception with making everything supernatural, and I think this is a clear example of that. Hey, grid, bro. Wait till we get to the end of this shit. You want to see supernatural? Wait till we get to the end of this shit. Wait till we get to the end of it. You're going to be like, where the fuck? All right. And I'm not going to watch all these things because this is anime only. He says chakra presence in the case of Madara was directly proportional to Kaguya's resurrection. So there is a chakra presence now. But nowhere have we seen anything related to chakra presence. We've seen chakra and people have a presence, but we've never seen a chakra presence. This is headcanon. This is pyramiding inferences. What do you say? The Shinju chakra being used for generic reunification of her own chakra quality, which in amounts scaled below her in the Jubi, Kaguya just ruptured him. Momo's feat is large island level plus, and he's talking about the feat. Load for me. He's talking about the feat when Momo first absorbs Kenshiki. He does like he does an air pressure blast. This is not chakra. This is air pressure. This is air pressure. And it cuts the god tree in half or something like that. Let me see. I don't know what... let me read this. Naruto, you're fighting only defensively now, protecting everyone. Is there any meaning to all this? You okay, Naruto? It's too much for you to control the chakra I gave you all at once. You'll wear out right away. Plus, it looks like the Ten Tails is charging its chakra. Be careful. You're just getting weaker. I bet you can't understand. So I don't know what this panel has to do with his last thing said at all. I really don't know what this has to do with it. But hey, guys, look. We're at the end of the thread now. Watch this shit. We're at the end of the thread. Watch this shit. So apparently the full ability list of aura manipulation is fear inducement, shockwave creation, spiritual compression, heat manipulation, will suppression, empathic manipulation, spiritual warping. The neutral effects are chakra materialization, spiritual materialization, will manipulation, low light manipulation, and soul projecting. The resistances are ergokinetic invisibility, meaning you can erasing your energy, chakra, will, intention, and spiritual warping. Is this shit not fucking crazy? Oh, hold up. Here are the offensive abilities. Implosion manipulation, shockwave creation, durability negation, spiritual compression, pressure manipulation, wind creation, spiritual compression for neutral, status ignorance, spiritual manipulation. Resistances, implosion / rupturing manipulation, physiology manipulation. Now guys, imagine me reading that thread. Let's just go to it. So, to break, right, hey, Kai and Grid, I got you. Hold up, I got you. Karibo, you listen to this too. So, Godflow tags me in this shit of a thread. I read it, and I say, oh God. He says what? I say, this is somehow worse than Cap and Cuts, the one we read the other day. This is somehow worse. Right? He says, explain what's wrong about it. I say, now, this is for you guys. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. I said most of the entire thread is just pyramiding inferences, and he has no foundation within the series. He's taking things that happen in the series and applying his own interpretation. It's essentially all headcanon. He also doesn't define presence versus aura, and the ability list is cap. Did anyone get a definition of presence versus aura in that entire thread? Oh, wait. Even though the Naruto is technically supernatural, but not in the same way Bleach and Naruto. Oh, I didn't read Shinigami's. The only thing supernatural is the Naruto fans' ability to glaze their series. People are always talking about ki and spiritual pressure when people are just talking about the things Chakra has done. I mean, I don't know about all that. The lowball of Momoshiki's feat to seem more reasonable to people who already disagree. You think that was a lowball? I don't know. Okay. I can see it. Or manipulation. What the hell is this garbage? Soul projecting. His thread only justifies like 3 or 4 of those abilities. Laugh my ass off. Yeah. So let's get into that actually too real quick. Before we get into his responses and stuff. Is there anything here that I agree with? Let me see. So let's go over all of them. When we're talking about fear inducement, we can look at this 2 ways. We can take it as things that you are afraid of that make you afraid when those things come forth or come to light or come to the forefront. Or we can talk about things that you're not afraid of. Or we can just talk about you not being afraid and being put in a state of fear involuntarily. And you are subjected to that fear. Kind of like how Asnod's Shrift works. I would call that more fear inducement, right? I wouldn't say someone flexing their chakra and someone getting a little nervous or afraid. I wouldn't call that fear inducement. I wouldn't call that a debilitation. Shockwave creation. Now, this one is kind of debatable. Shockwave creation. I don't know about that. I like, No, I don't think I can give it to him because I haven't seen a manga instance where this is the truth. I haven't seen a manga instance where this happens. Heat manipulation. In the case of the 9 tails, sure. In the case of the 4 tails, sure. Empathic manipulation. I don't know where he pulled this shit from. I have no idea where he got this from. Spiritual warping. Black receivers. That has nothing to do with chakra aura, though. If you're using the black receivers, that has nothing to do with the aura. That's more the mechanism. That's more the tool. Chakra materialization. I think we can do that one for a yes. That's a yes. Chakra, yeah, because Zabuza and we have the 9 tails chimera. Yeah, that's a good one. Spiritual materialization. I don't know. No, you don't get that. Will manipulation. No, you don't get that. Low light manipulation. I have no idea where you pulled that from. Soul projection. I have no idea where the fuck you got that. Resistances. I don't care. Spiritual warping. I don't even know what that is. Implosion manipulation. I have no idea where he's getting this from. Shockwave creation. Again, that's a maybe. Durability negation. That's in the case of a specific technique. But if we're just talking about the aura itself being an attack, no, that's not true. Pressure manipulation. No, absolutely not. Well, pressure. In some instances, yes. So kind of like Grid said, actually, yeah, about 4 things, maybe 4 things, but a lot of this shit is cap. A lot of this shit is just straight cap. Implosion/rupturing manipulation. Fuck no. Physiology manipulation. Using your aura? No. And the big thing that hurts this is he's not giving any examples for these things. He just puts them at the end of the thread like we're just supposed to accept it. John said, I need someone with day on. Facts, bro. Facts. He's just saying random stuff. He really tried to make Naruto sound like a DC comic character. Yeah, bro. Like the Naruto versus an Omega level mutant in Marvel. Exactly, bro. Just hyping up. What's up, people? Hey, what's good, Jax? How you been? How you been, man? It's been a long time. What's up, people? There's nothing outer about Sung Jinwoo. Spread the word. He came up with some bullshit. What is physiology manipulation? That is a beautiful question. I have no idea what he could even be thinking about as far as that. Black receivers. Is he talking about the chakra rods pain / Nagato was using? Yes, he is. I think the only thing he actually defines is battle chakra aura, or whatever he called it, which is just a signifier of a character actively molding chakra for battle and doesn't do anything. Like, he really tried to make that something it wasn't. Hell, it's not even consistent for the aura to show up. Exactly. So let's get into the actual, I want to say, tiny back and forth. It's not really a back and forth though, because I chose not to engage once I saw how he was kind of doing this. Where's the hold up. Okay. So I said what I said. Well, so hold up. So after I said, yeah, he's just pyramiding inferences, it's essentially headcanon and all that stuff, Godflow tags the creator of the post. He says, I'll let you handle this. And then Godflow says, so Orochimaru and Hiruzen cracking the ground with their pressure is not a thing. Momoshiki causing a wave that cut through the God tree. Hashirama and Tobirama causing destruction with their pressure alone. All of these are headcanon. And I said, not sure why you're blending arguments. He never brought up Hiruzen and Orochimaru, nor did he bring up Tobirama and Hashirama. All right. Now, this was something on my part because I was kind of getting confused between the cap thing, and then I missed it. I missed it the first time in his thread where he brought up Hashirama and them, but that's not even an issue. Now, hold up. So, under that comment, which I'm not sure why he replied to that one though. Okay. So yeah, I said what I said. Godflow says, doesn't matter if I'm blending arguments or mentioning something he didn't say yet. It's evidence of chakra/aura pressure causing damages. I asked you a question because you disagree with that entire thing. I said incorrect. What's incorrect? Everything. Don't worry, I'll clear it up live, and here we are. So this is addressing you, Godflow. I didn't disagree with everything, right? What did I say in my initial response to you in the first place? I said most of the entire thread is just pyramiding inferences, right? The stuff that I can agree to is kind of the stuff we said yesterday. Chakra can cause environmental damage. I had no problem admitting that yesterday. I said this. Did I not, Creeper? I did say this, right? The thing I was hung up on, at least with Cap and Cut's thread, was the debilitation thing. We've never seen that. Every instance that we looked at, it was just bloodlust, right? So, Godflow, for you specifically, you're incorrect on that aspect. I don't disagree that environmental damage can be caused. Never disagree with that. And it's not even a big point to begin with in the first place. It's all the other extra shit that he's adding onto this thread that makes it unusable, that makes it not credible. And that kind of makes it silly and really ridiculous if we're being completely honest with ourselves. He doesn't really substantiate 90% of the shit he posted in that thread as far as giving them all these abilities with chakra and resistances and neutrals. None of that shit is substantiated at all whatsoever. So I said everything. Don't worry, I'll clear it up. He says, Roger. He says, the creator of the post says, because it's unnecessary to make a distinction between what has been identified and equal interpretation quality, the arguments don't assert on a level of vividness. Any of the others don't, if not less. Your standard is completely undefined to begin with, and I didn't bring up the Shinkyu. Okay, cool. I have no idea what the fuck any of that shit means. I don't think it was pertinent, so we're going to skip to my question to him. Or the question I posed to Godflow that he responded to, kind of. Unless he said that within a chain thread. I'll have to see. But hold up. Let's go back. All right, guys. So, if you remember... hold up. DC characters in the base level is closer to Fate characters. To a Fate series. A certain series or to... Aru, if you're Japanese, Hunter x Hunter, Jujutsu Kaisen, Naruto, and One Piece. Damn, I don't even know what y'all talking about. On a high end level, DC is definitely above Dragon Ball and Bleach. On a high end, yeah. Well, I don't know about Dragon Ball. Bleach, probably though, yeah. So yeah, Jax, we're just talking about so yesterday we were talking about chakra aura and how I think that people really only bring this up to compare it with Bleach and One Piece and other verses that have actual feats of aura doing things. And so I was tagged in this thread and asked to give my opinion on the thread. And the last 30 minutes, 48 minutes was me just basically debunking the fucking thread because it was literally just headcanon and pyramiding inferences. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're talking about. That's where we're at. So I say he also doesn't define presence versus aura, and the ability list is Cap. Now, guys, pay attention to this, please. Hold up. All right. Grid, Kai, Chaos, Karibo, and Jax. I'm going to need y'all to lock in for this. I'm going to read this a few times. You guys tell me what the fuck is going on. Mind you, I said he doesn't define presence versus aura in the ability list is Cap. He goes on to say presence versus aura are defined without flaw in indifference, visually or physically consistently throughout all feats presented. This is deductively systemic in word association to object associations in the manga. It not being presently identified doesn't erase the object's existence. I'm sorry. But like I said, I'm going to read it again. Mind you, I simply stated he doesn't define presence versus aura. His response, presence versus aura are defined without flaw in difference visually or physically consistently throughout all feats presented. That sentence doesn't make a lick of fucking sense. Presence versus aura are defined. So they're both defined as without flaw in difference, visually or physically consistently throughout all feats presented. What the fuck? What the fuck does that mean? This is deductively systemic in word association to object associations in the manga. It not being presently identified doesn't erase the object's existence. What the fuck is he actually saying? What, like, bro, I know I'm not tripping. I read that several times, and this is why I chose not to respond to him, because I'm like, oh shit, he on some other shit. Like, I'm gonna read it again. Presence versus aura are defined. Presence versus aura are defined. First off, without flaw in difference visually or physically consistently throughout all feats presented. What the fuck does that mean? This is deductively systemic in word association to object associations in the manga. It not being presently identified doesn't erase the object's existence. This makes not a lick of fucking sense. Mind you guys, he's not done. He kept going. He then says, or a word's existence, so pyramiding, which is what I said he's doing, pyramiding can't exist without prior obligation to a non-accessible identity or object which has been provided in the post. Likewise, with inferring, which doesn't argue anything, or claiming the ability list was lying, which also is analytically baseless. So, let's read that again. Taking it from this. This is directly, no, we're not even going to do it from there. Yeah. Or a word's existence, so pyramiding can't exist without prior obligation to a non-accessible identity or object which has been provided in the post. So he's saying pyramiding can't exist without prior obligation to a non-accessible identity. Like, when you do this is what my English teacher in second grade called word vomit. Yeah, see, this is not only word vomit. This is verbal ejaculation. This is all that is. I've never seen anyone say so much to say so little. I've never seen someone say so much to say so little. Mind you, my only comment was he also didn't define presence and aura. You would think he defines both of them in bullet points, or in, he hyphens presence, hyphen, this is definition, or hyphen. And, oh, wait, is he, I thought he had one more of those things. Whoa, my thing's kind of weird. Okay. So, yeah. But you know what we can do, guys? ChatGPT exists for a reason. You know, I'm not even going to do that. Planet birthday. Hey, what's good, birthday? It's been a minute since I seen you in here. Where you been at? He's basically saying that the manga has defined what presence is and what aura is, both visually and... Okay, so Revenant know how to talk this guy's language. What's good, Ronan? This is what my... Yeah. So, sup, how is everyone today? What's the subject of today's stream about? We're talking about chakra aura and chakra presence. We were talking about this about a day ago, and I got tagged in a response when I was talking to Garibo about this subject. For the full breakdown of the thread, I want to say you can probably catch it in the first 10 to 48 minutes of the stream. We go really in depth in everything he puts in this thread. Yeah. Right now, at this very moment, we're just kind of analyze the words that are coming out of his mouth. Revenant seems to understand this. Don't know how he's making sense out of this nonsense. But I've read this several times, and it's just like, all right, I'm at work right now. I don't have time for this shit. You could have just easily said, aura is this. This is aura effects. Presence is this. This is how you know it's presence. This is how you know the difference. But let me keep reading. inconsistently, so he doesn't need to define it to you. Okay, let me read your whole thing. Okay, he's basically saying that the manga has defined what presence is and what aura is, both visually and and consistently, he doesn't need to define it to you. Oh, he doesn't constantly need to. Wait, am I reading that wrong? No, consistently. I'm reading that right. Bro must have gotten an F in English. Literally, all he meant in that initial tweet is that you can infer the differences between aura and presence based on how they're presented. That's exactly what it is. He just appeals to interpretation pretty much. I don't need to define it because you can interpret it yourself. He's dumb. He needs to define his understanding of both words so you can attack it. Yeah. Hey, shout out to y'all for being able to make sense out of this nonsense. Because when I read this, and especially when it's like not grammatically correct, I don't have the energy and time to do it. That's why I'm like, you know what, I'll just address this shit on live. I'm not about to rack my fucking brain over this shit. Presence versus aura are defined without flaw in difference. Visually or physically consistently throughout all feats presented. I'm not gonna lie, even though you just explained it, Ronan, this shit makes zero sense. This is deductively systemic in word association to object associations in the manga. It not being presently identified doesn't erase the object's existence. Yeah, no. Hey, Godflow, get your man. Don't ever tag me in no shit like this associated with him again, Godflow. When you watch this back, Godflow, don't ever tag me in no shit associated with this guy ever again. Like, just don't do it, bro. Don't do it. So basically, no limit fallacies on crack. As long as you say something, fact. Yeah, as long as you say something is fact, yeah. For those of you guys just coming in though, or just who didn't get to see this, these are all the abilities that he thinks chakra grants you. Just having chakra or basic chakra aura. This is what he thinks chakra grants you, by the way. Fear inducement, shockwave creation, spiritual compression, heat manipulation, will suppression, empathic manipulation, spiritual warping, chakra materialization, spiritual materialization, will manipulation, low light manipulation, soul projecting. Hey, what's good, Ignil? Nice to see you in the chat, bro. For you guys who don't know, Ignil is also another content creator. I have checked out a few of his videos. He's checked out, I think, my Genjutsu video, because we were having a little discussion on Genjutsu before. He believes that all Genjutsu necessarily have to affect the person's chakra network. I stand on the claim that, it's really just real-time illusions, then you have your mental attacks. But, so yeah, Ignil, you're going to love this shit, Ignil. Right now, we're talking about chakra aura versus chakra presence, right? Because I was tagged in a thread, and I'm not going to go through the whole thread. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'm just going to read a couple things. So you can see exactly what the fuck I had to deal with today. So it's about chakra aura and presence. And this is a quick guide to a comprehensive feat of employment of chakra aura and presence in Naruto. Now, mind you, the first thing he shows in this thing is not chakra aura or chakra presence. The first thing he shows, right? Secondly, and probably the most egregious thing in this whole thing, for me at least, he says chakra aura is very well established early on to be either consciously accessible, to be either a consciously accessible ability for stat amplification. Now, mind you, we know in Naruto, the only way that you're going to increase your stats is chakra manipulation. So him saying that chakra aura is now stat amplification, it almost delegitimizes chakra control at this point. Because if everyone can just flex their aura and have an increase in power all around, then why the fuck would you need to put chakra at any one point of your body to do anything? If we can all just, and if we can all just activate and invoke our chakra aura. So that's probably the first stupid thing. Secondly, he says, no, not that. All right, listen to this, guys. He says, in Naruto's case, there was a lot of chakra to begin with, which was backfiring in the misuse of it, causing his aura alone to generate a lot of pressure without release. Aura can also be used to extend a user's will and or empathic manipulation, which is the same as pure presence. Mind you, he doesn't back this up in the thread at all. Nowhere is this grounded at all in the manga. When has chakra aura ever been a thing? Like, bro, like Karibo, when I say they want Naruto to be bleached, this is what I mean. This is like, look at this. Pressure without release. Where are you getting pressure from? You really want to say chakra pressure. Don't lie. You want to say chakra pressure. Hey, Ronin, because you just got in here too. Ignil, Ronin, and Planet Birthday. Watch this. My man said this. Look at this shit. Read this. He says, chakra aura can be negated via stats, but presence can't. Think of it like this. Inverse, there are means to counteract aura, whereas presence, if need be, must be resisted in any case. Can anyone tell me when chakra aura has ever been negated? Can anyone tell me an instance of chakra aura being used as an attack? Like, this is absolute madness. And I really should have did a video. No, I'm glad I did it this way. Because I was going to do an actual video breakdown of this thread and make it a video since I haven't posted in a while. But doing this live, slow roasting this shit live is much more fun. I'm not going to lie. All right. Let me catch up. It not being presented identified is such a funny thing to say. What do you mean you're conceding? There's no concrete evidence for what you're saying. Oh, wait. Is that Karibo? Don't tell me Karibo's going back and forth. All right. Well, I can't speak for Naruto and some other series. It seems pretty straightforward. If there is an energy system, the chakra would radiate an aura. Yeah, and birthday, bro. I'm not even mad at that, right? I'm not even mad at that. What I'm mad at is the lack of in-canon references, the lack of in-canon foundation. He has no foundation. Like I said, he's taking things that happen in the manga and just applying his own interpretation, i.e. he's using headcanon and pyramiding inferences. I'm not even mad that chakra can have an aura. To call it chakra aura is actually redundant in itself. That's like saying aura, because chakra is already an aura. You wouldn't need to say chakra aura. You just say aura at that point. So no one in the fucking series says chakra aura, by the way, either. I've never seen that said at all in the series. If you're used to reading Chicken Scratch or you hang around the litter of people long enough, this type of talk is easy to decipher. That's hilarious. Bro, after I've taken it as a personal attack. If what I say is fact, Ichigo solos all of fiction. It not being presently identified is such a funny thing to say. What do you mean? Oh, I already read that. Yeah, exactly, man. All of those offensive abilities may be in the Storm video games. Ultimate attack cutscenes are always flashy. Chakra aura and chakra pressure. Okay, cool. Presence versus aura are defined in Naruto. Differences can be inferred by how they are both visually presented throughout the series consistently. Wow. Thank you for that, Ronin. All right. This is the problem with thinking you're an intellectual, LOL. You end up like that dude, thinking your takes are objective fact. Bro thinks his headcanon is real canon. And that's the big issue too, man. That's the big issue. Like, and my thing be this. Who did you run this through? Who vetted this? Do you have a community? Do you have anyone to go over this shit before you just post things? It's crazy. See, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I can't. Did he say anything else crazy? Oh yeah, guys, look. Ignil and Roni, look at this. Chakra presence ignores status. Get a load of that one. Chakra presence ignores status. because apparently manga Hiruzen killed over due to Orochimaru's pressure. Apparently. Let him tell it. Let him tell it. Manga Hiruzen kneeled over due to Orochimaru's chakra pressure. Let him tell it. But yeah, alright. Arcanium. Godflow. Don't ever tag me in his shit again. I hope you watch this. I'm going to clip this. I'm going to make mini clips of this because it was funny to read and it was funny to dissect. And I definitely wasn't going to go back and forth with you online with how you fucking type. That wasn't happening. Because that verbal ejaculation that you did was disgusting. Let's read it again. Let's read it again. Presence versus aura are defined without flaw, indifference visually or physically consistently throughout all feats presented. The fuck does that even mean? This is deductively systemic in word association. To object associations in the manga, I would love to hear him say this shit in person. I would love to hear him say this in person. Because no one talks like this. No one talks like this. This is something you would only write out, I guarantee you. No one speaks like this. Remember when Kakashi released his chakra pressure? Such a cinema. Naruto amped himself for Kurama's chakra, which created a visible red aura, and his chakra control was the worst of his team at that time. Yeah, no, hey, Karibo, I think I already said this, bro. I'm not denying an aura does exist, right? But when you have the end of your thread, being all this stuff, I'm going to need to see harder evidence than what you presented. I'm going to need to see harder evidence, and then I'm going to need a precise definition of the things you're talking about and instances in the manga that back up the things you're talking about. Chakra multiplier doesn't really increase a user's stats like the curse mark does increase stats, but not quantifiably. See, even that, bro, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Chakra has never increased stats in a 1-to-1 ratio, right? When you get more chakra, all you're getting is more energy to put towards more stats. So if you want to say your stats increase by proxy of you having now more energy to put towards stats, sure. But having more chakra has never been the more, I'm therefore faster than you. I'm therefore stronger than you. I'm therefore more durable. That's never been the case with chakra. That's not how it works. Chakra crush equals soul crush equals spiritual pressure equals chakra pressure is what this guy is saying. Facts, bro. Facts. He wants to be Naruto so bad. Ichigo cannot soul all of fiction. You know, I would never postulate something like that. Only in fucking Naruto where would you say Itachi souls 99% of fiction. I would never even postulate something like that. The crazy thing is I actually understand their point of view. It's just blatantly wrong. He doesn't understand the chakra energy system. I bet he's a Hunter x Hunter fan. He went over it with his imaginary friends who are in echo chamber. When has that ever happened? He's speaking his own language at this point. Don't read it again. He's dead already. The argument from the last stream are infinitely better. And that, bro, I'm not going to lie. After reading his shit, it made Cap and Cut shit actually seem good. It made Cap and Cut shit actually seem good. Now, the only issue I had with Cap and Cut's thing was just this word right here. It can mentally debilitate people or cause just this right here, mentally debilitate. Because when we go to like do a perusal for any of that stuff happening, we find all the times that it's really just bloodlust is what causes people to feel fear or be mentally debilitated or paralysis jutsu is happening. You'll never hear someone say his chakra is, you won't say that. I mean, you won't see that. I think Sakura might have made a comment one time to Madara or something like that, but it's not a prevalent thing. Like I said, I need at least three instances of consistency before I mark it down in my books as something is the case. But yeah, he absolutely made Cap and Cut shit look 10 times better. Ah, yes, the word systemic. I've never used that word before in my life. Bro talking like this is him reading through George Lucas script. Bro is speaking gibberish and thinks it's facts. Yo, wild. Hell, it's even somewhat justifiable to attribute bloodlust to Chakra when Zabuza's demon or thing exists, which is when his bloodlust gets its best feats. But even with that, bro, the funny thing is, all those soldiers, all those fodder soldiers, were still willing to fight Zabuza over money. Like, his aura didn't do shit. It was cool. It was a cool visual for us, the fans. It didn't do anything though. It didn't make him stronger or faster. It didn't make him more durable. It didn't debilitate them. You know what I mean? I know or rather knew some people who talked like this. Usually they were mentally special or try hard with how intelligent they really were. This guy's therapist be like, I diagnose you with delusions. Itachi is built different. Itachi's not soling 99% of fiction, bro. He's not built different. Naruto's prescience or aura can be felt throughout the entire planet when he flexes and causes earthquakes. Come across that in a fanfic a while ago. Crazy. Anyway, it was good seeing all y'all again, chat. There's nothing outer about Sung Jinwoo. Spread the word and peace out. Hey, take it easy, Jax. Appreciate you for stopping by, bro. He thinks when a character's chakra is influenced by their killing intent or emotions, which we do see, he thinks that's aura manipulation or whatever. Okay. Ayo, Ronan, I might need to have you be like a mother... What's it? You might need to be my goddamn interpreter. Because I'm going to say this. I work very straightforward. I think by now you all know I work very straightforward. I stick to what the series presents. I don't mind making inferences. I don't mind that stuff if there is enough evidence to suggest, if there's enough evidence for an assumption to be made, if there's enough evidence backing it up, I don't mind it. I don't go to it 100%. I don't do it 100%. Right? I'll always base everything off of the manga or what the story has in it. Like, for shit like that, I really might need an interpreter. It was really hard to comprehend what the fuck he was saying, especially with the grammar and shit, bro. But all right, that was funny. Yeah, well, we went about an hour and 13 minutes on his fucking ass. All right, cool. So we're going to. I think I want to watch Eon's video about. No, there was actually a couple more I wanted to watch. I think we can save his for last. Imagine this guy making a Naruto fanfiction. It'd be terrible. Itachi is built different. Most definitely, that's why he got ill and knocked off. Facts. Ronan be his personal translator. Please, bro. Please. I need someone to tell me what these things we say. Uh-oh. Come on. There we go. Lululemon. Okay, I think we can watch this one. For example, Karin, who's more attuned to chakra than your average shinobi, commented on Sasuke's chakra being cold. It proves that chakra can be influenced by emotions, but that isn't physical. I agree. Yeah. Oh, but hold up. Hold up. See, with instances like that, and I've always had problems with that statement, and this kind of introduces chakra potency, right? Where in the series, because Karin said Sasuke's chakra is getting cold because he was like emotional, upset. Itachi just died, all this other stuff. Did that do anything for him power-wise? And how would we quantify it if it did? People tell me that How would I even describe this, bro? Because it's really annoying to talk about. Because outside of extreme cases like the Biju, chakra potency isn't really a real thing. It's like, I don't want to say it's not a real thing. You know what? I need to be in the heat of the conversation, having it with someone to actually kind of put how I want to say it. What is this guy's end goal with these noodles tier argument and premise? To make Naruto as strong as possible. Who would win in an argument? Grug or Ambi? I don't know these people, Shinigami. If Amado cloned Itachi, you would never hear the end of it. Yeah, I don't think we ever need to bring Kakashi back. Itachi back. Oh yeah, that's right. Let me put on the headphones. Lululemon. Lululemon.
On June 6th, the deadliest warriors become.
The Phantom Troupe is widely considered the most powerful band of criminals in the Hunter x Hunter world.
Alright, cool. So this is going to be, can the Phantom Troupe defeat Pito? I actually think this is a very interesting video. This is actually a topic that I argued on live one time. And honestly, I gave it to the Troupe. I think the Royal Guard is definitely good. I think Pito is definitely a beast. But I think with the experience and cunning and craftiness of the entire Troupe, I just think it's a little too much for Pito to handle. I think it gets overwhelmed just by the sheer number of abilities it would have to deal with. And the fact that P2 is kind of just a brawler, right? It uses Cursey Torah. It uses Cursey Torah to like enhance its physicals and all that stuff, but it's still a brawler at the end of the day. Define potency. Do you mean like you can cast high level jutsu with as little chakra possible, or do you mean the destructive capacity from high level attacks? All right. So here's the thing. When it comes to chakra potency, it wouldn't be for me to define. I've only ever engaged with it from a Naruto fan's purview. From what I gather, they seem to think that there are people in this series that have higher chakra potencies, and this would yield them higher tiers of ninjutsu. Right? That's what I've been told. Like when someone said Raikage's chakra levels are that of a Biju, they said his chakra potency was now higher. And I was like, okay, well, how would you prove that? How would you quantify it? And where did you even get that from? Because from what I understand, we're talking about the Biju's level of chakra. And it's kind of weird bringing the Biju into this because they're more special, being that they are giant lumps of chakra. And some of the Biju do have special properties with their chakra. But I wouldn't say that's attributed to potency necessarily. It would just be different attributes. Like how Sengoku can make his lava. I wouldn't attribute that to potency. That's just a different attribute of chakra. So it's kind of hard, honestly, to pin down because I don't have a real live fan right here to actually define what they mean. Like I said, I've only ever had the conversation from a inquisitive end on my part. I've only ever questioned it. And I've heard people say like, oh, you know, his chakra's more potent. He has more chakra and his chakra's more potent. I'm like, can you define more potent? Like, is Kiba's chakra more potent than Shino's? Why or why not? And then the conversation would kind of go dead there because you can't really define fucking potency because you don't really have any manga-based examples of higher potency chakra. It's really annoying. If I remember correctly, Kaden commented his chakra was colder and more powerful. Sasuke is getting stronger as his hatred peaks, but they seem to be two different. They seem to be two separate qualities. Right. Okay. So, you know what? before we do that, it wouldn't hurt to look at that. It wouldn't hurt to look at that. Because well, let me see first. Where would we find that? The summit. My new light. Dealing with Sasuke, Sasuke versus Raikage. So it should be somewhere around. It should be somewhere around here. Chapter 460. Yeah, cool. Let's do that. Okay. Where are we at? Okay. It's no use. There are too many of them. We're going to be found out and captured. Zetsu better watch his back. Samurai can control their chakra too. So that's how they use chakra. Alright. Sasuke's chakra, it's changed. He's not the same Sasuke as before. I can't believe it's thicker than when he's in the curse mark second state. It's thicker and colder. Alright, so what does the actual one say? It's thicker and colder. That was that version of it. I don't think thicker was the actual word, though. Sasuke's chakra is different. I've never seen him like this before. It's even darker than the second stage of his curse mark and colder. I don't know about stronger. I ain't see stronger running. Let me keep going. There's one chakra that's erasing many other chakras. I believe it's Sasuke's chakra. Yeah, no, that's all we get from it. Sasuke's chakra, it's changed. He's not the same Sasuke as before. I can't believe it's thicker than when he's in the curse mark second state and colder. Thicker. Thicker is such a weird way to describe it. It's darker than the second stage of his curse mark and colder. Darker and colder. Darker and colder. Yeah. Oh shit, we got Nelly in the chat. We got Nelly in the chat. Alright, let me catch up. Giselle Guanya would beat Itachi. It doesn't amp the chakra potency. It does, however, portray intent to kill. Sasuke's chakra becoming cold reflected his mental state of becoming evil. Sakura's healing chakra in comparison is warm. Itachi beats Giselle. Checked it out quickly, and actually the adjective she uses is thicker and colder, but it's clear contextually that refers to the power of the chakra. Alright, Rev. Like, bro, it's clear contextually that refers to the power of the chakra. Sasuke's ninjutsu became more powerful. However, his chakra became colder as a result of his hatred. In a sense, him becoming stronger was leading down an evil path. So it's a 2-in-1. I think she means more denser. She could mean denser by thicker. She could mean denser. But the thing is this. And this is why Naruto is probably one of the more annoying verses to scale, because if you're not doing your due diligence in peering over every instance of when chakra is actually mentioned to get an overstanding of how the whole thing fits together, you only have half the truth, right? And right now we're trying to deduce if chakra potency is an actual thing. And let me make this clear. When I'm talking about the potency of one's chakra, I'm talking about it in the state of their bodies naturally. Because we know chakra has to go through a process to become ninjutsu. Excuse me. We understand chakra has to go through a process to become ninjutsu, right? And we understand the molding, changing its nature, shape, and form can make it stronger. My question then would be, if you take two people of the same chakra proficiency, chakra control, and they do the same jutsu, whose would win? Well, no, I can't even do that because it kind of presumes potency is a thing. We need to prove that potency trumps, I guess, regular chakra. For example, is Naruto's chakra more potent than Kakashi's? And if the answer is yes, then why did it take Naruto learning the Rasen Shuriken to beat Kakashi's Rasengan? Why wasn't his chakra just potent enough to beat his regular Rasengan? Why, when Sasuke and Naruto clashed right after the Danzo fight, why didn't Sasuke win that confrontation? They were both base, but only Sasuke's chakra has gotten the actual confirmation that it's getting colder and thicker and therefore more potent. Thinking about it, why was Obito just taking the time out of his day to give Naruto a lower drop about the cycle? Facts. More evil, basically. Colder, thicker, darker. With that type of wording, to me, I interpret it as Karin chakra feels like she's being dipped in water. Uchiha can get stronger via hatred amps. Is that exclusive to Uchiha? Technically, we do see Naruto get... Well, so... Is it a hatred amp, though? Or is it an emotional amp? I don't know if we could say it's hatred. Not gonna lie, y'all sound like Kendrick fans. Always talking about the ops more than the guy you're champion for. Seems crazy to me. You know what's funny, Red? You know what's really funny, Red? If you really like, first off, Eon does the same thing, so please don't even start with me. Your boy Eon be doing the same thing. That's number one. But number two, as content creators, if you ask most content creators that are really into the power scaling shit, right? You'll find that most of us talk about the ops more because we have to be way more attuned with their arguments, their series, and their scaling, just so we're not caught off guard with anything that they might try and sell us. Just so we're not caught off guard with anything they might try and sell us. Mind you, I've been in many conversations / debates, informal ones, right? Of course. And people have told me that chakra was passed around by Hagoromo. People have told me that not everyone has chakra. People have actually tried to tell me that. It took me reading Boruto myself. Mind you, I already knew this stuff from Naruto. But it took me reading Boruto myself to dispel 90% of the lies I was told about Boruto. Because they're not honest with this. They're not honest. They're not an honest fan base for the most part, and they're not honest about their series. Like, you just seen, well, no, Red, you didn't just see because you just got here. But if you go back to the beginning of the stream, you'll see us break down a thread of chakra aura and chakra presence where he's just pyramiding inferences and using headcanon to buff the shit out of Naruto, and it makes zero sense whatsoever. So yeah, honestly, this is just me doing my due diligence, number one. And don't worry, when we actually start getting into the thick of it for Bleach, oh, it's going to be bad. it's going to be bad. Because with Bleach, I'll be able to give you guys the triple AP side of the scaling, as well as, okay, cool, if we're not restricting the triple AP, this is how I would interpret it. Hey, yo, Red is a troll, bro. Also, what's good, Mugetsu? How you doing, bro? Alright. Let me get out of this. I'm gonna catch up to these comments, then we can talk about the Phantom Troupe versus Pito. Let me go to the bathroom real quickly. All about the money. All about the money. All right, let's catch up first, then the mustard. Get it? Ketchup, mustard. I'm nice. Okay. Karin is an Uzumaki who can perceive the nature of chakra itself, which reflects the state of mind. Her comment is about Sasuke's own chakra becoming more evil than Orochimaru's chakra from the curse mark. I like that. I like that. See, guys, if Ronin ever made content, bro, he'd be bad. Like, he'd be dangerous. But he'd be someone that I would actually refer to because he knows what the fuck he's talking about. I just don't see any win con for Itachi. Seal, GG, and the Totsuka Blade just walk out with shadows. Genjutsu, no chakra, no Genjutsu, not affecting GG. Amaterasu, Blute Vein, Negs. Nah, you tried it. I'm on your top. My guy. Chill out, Red. Chill, bro. Amaterasu, Paper Bomb, Kunai, Totsuka Blade, and Fireball Jutsu. Hatred should be the same as negative emotional amps such as bloodlust and hate. Ain't no way, bro, said Paper Bombs and Kunai. Yeah, I don't. Yo, Karibo, you be having the weirdest arguments for Bleach versus Naruto. Like, during the Kakashi versus Toshiro thing, you literally said Kakashi would use his goddamn dogs on Toshiro and that would stop Toshiro. Are you serious? But yeah, you just said Kunai and Paper Bombs. That's ridiculous in a fight with Bleach. That's ridiculous. Stick to Amaterasu, Susanoo, and the Totsuka Blade. Anything else is not working. The only time pure chakra becomes physical is in cases like Naruto wearing chakra cloak. Shinobi cannot normally see chakra unless they're advanced sensory types. Ninja weave chakra without seeing it. Everyone can get temporary emotion amps, but Uchihas can get permanent hatred amps. It's more so implied, but explicitly stated in one of their blank period novels. Sasuke Shinden, I think. If by a hatred amp, you mean when they're in a state of anger, they can take their power to the next level, like when Sasuke got upset and his Susanoo started getting stronger, do you mean like that? Is that a hatred amp? True, but GG is trash when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. Let's remember, Yumechika deduced how GG's blood worked. Yumechika isn't anywhere near being known for his intelligence. It applies to their Sharingan. Naruto's lie. We know that, but Kishi did a bad job for a while with the chakra lore since everything seemed to rush by the war. Here's the thing, bro. Red, Kishi had 700 chapters to flesh out chakra. And there's still confusion about it today. There are people like myself who try and make the most sense out of it as we can without like inserting our own bias into it. But for the most part, there's no like monolith that, I don't even want to say monolith, right? There's not a conglomerate of people who like agree that this is how it works. There's not really a conglomerate. I don't even want to say that. How do I say it? Yeah, no. I'm just gonna say not everyone even agrees on how chakra still functions to this day. He had 700 chapters to do it too. Yumichika is... He legit stated in his fight with Shulhorn that he actively nerfs his intelligence in Keto because Squad 11 thinks that stuff is corny. Not chakra in general. Otherwise, Itachi would have a lot of chakra than he does. Fun fact, Yuha would solo Naruto. Oh yeah, no, that's not even up for debate. I don't see a single win con for the Narutoverse if Yuha ever decided to invade. I got P2. Which side y'all got? Yeah, no, we're going to get to the video right when I catch up. I got the Phantom Troupe. We're going to see how this goes, though. I think Dr. Fiction probably is more versed in this than I am, even though I've seen Hunter x Hunter maybe like 10 times throughout my life now. Anyone lieutenant level or above. Oh, God, y'all are yapping. I'm going to have to read. All right, I'm going to just skip a little. What shadow is escaping into after being trapped in a jar? Amaterasu can make metal vanish instantly. Gigi doesn't have any impressive durability showing. Karibo, you're taking a single feat. Remember that conversation about consistency? Give me 3 more feats of Amaterasu doing anything close to that. Otherwise, it's an outlier. But when Sasuke gets hit there, generally associated with his chakra, generally not just the Sharingan, no? Good point, good point. He said he doesn't use his true Shikai. His personal intelligence has nothing to do with that. Gigi has no impressive durability showings. She got sliced in half and just put herself back together and is still alive and can't figure out where despite being attacked by Yuha. Not gonna lie, one smart might have a point. Dog bites are OP. Can Toshiro squabble a bulldog? Hey, Red. If I gotta go in my One Piece bag, I will do it. I ain't one for that tonight. Don't tempt me though, nigga. I will do it. I swear Red's only purpose to come to this stream is to troll and chill the fuck out, yo. Like, Red will sit in the back of the fucking class, be throwing paper, making paper airplanes, be knocking shit over, then be like, oh, look at Karibo. Oh, look at Mugetsu. And act like he ain't be doing shit, yo. I swear to God, that's the only reason this nigga come here, bro. Not necessarily. Sasuke had always been a genius at weaving chakra. Remember, he weaved the fireball jutsu as a child and has enough chakra to create and maintain Chidori on his own. Genius. I wouldn't say genius, but okay. See, but that's one thing we have to consider too, right? Being able to do something proficiently in one area of chakra manipulation doesn't grant that same thing in another area. For example, after Naruto learned the Rasengan, he didn't get many times faster from learning the Rasengan. He didn't get many times stronger from learning the Rasengan. He didn't get many times anything actually after learning the Rasengan. All that chakra control helped him with was the Rasengan. So Sasuke being able to do the fireball jutsu really didn't help him in tree climbing at all. It didn't help him in walking on water. Mind you, he learned it faster than Naruto, but that's not really, that's not really much. So yeah, one area does not dictate the other. Gigi's Blue is stated to be superior to Bambi's, who can compete with Komomora. There's her Dura feat. Survivability is different from durability. I agree with that. Survivability is different from durability. Karibo is absolutely right with that point. For example, Kabuto putting chakra to his stomach to heal before it impacted him is not a durability feat. It's a recovery and survivability feat. Red hair, low-key, Toshiro might find a way to lose to Bulldog because fumbling is what Dusty Baller You gotta stop, bro. He doesn't gain more chakra with his hatred. He becomes more effective with his ninjutsu, though. Like, I need, like Ronin, I need a concrete example of what jutsu enhanced from him being mad or having hatred and him not. Like, what jutsu was more powerful? Unless you just have the Susanoo as the example. Pito is stronger and faster. So Pito is stronger and faster than the entire troop, yes. But I still think they're more crafty. And there's like 13 of them. Alright, we're almost caught up, so we're about to start. Bambi was running from Konohamaru. It's just wrong. She literally puts him on his knees in their first fight. Oh, Komomora. If you're talking about human-sized Komomora, that one doesn't matter. He's just stronger and outscales both Bambi and Gigi at that point. I saw a poll recently about Pito versus Toji, and majority goofs voted Toji. Toji? How do you vote Toji? That don't even make Toji? Okay, that beyond me. Sukuna, yeah, sure. Gojo, yeah, sure. Like end the series Yuta, yeah, sure. Yuta, end the series Yuji, yeah, sure. You know me too well. Laugh my ass off. Hey, yo, come on, bro, come on. To this day, the fact that Giselle is stronger than Bambi is fucking insane to me. You know, that is crazy. Ab-Stract, instantly burning the toad's stomach, burning fire, and making metal. Oh my god. All right, so here's the thing. First off, instantly burning the toad's stomach. All right, so here's the thing, right? You're taking. So if we're doing this in order. Let's do you, right? It would be the toad's stomach. That's the first time we see actually, I don't even want to do it like that. It might be better just to go play the goddamn video. All right, I'll address Kribo's thing, and then we'll go. Ab-Stract, instantly burning the toad's stomach, burning fire, and making metal vanish. 3 examples. Amaterasu is a selective burn. So, okay, the argument is Amaterasu is a selective burn. And you're saying Amaterasu would be able to beat or injure Gigi because you don't have any impressive durability feats for her, Blute. This would be my primary issue. When Sasuke used Amaterasu on Killer B, that was intentional. Oh, hold up. We getting a call from Twin. Hold up. Yo.
Send me the code. Check your email right now. Send me the code.
We're live, Tay.
Hey, oh, you're live.
Hey, tell that nigga Red stop playing with me, bro.
Hey, Red, we on the settlement, man. We on the settlement. I don't know what we talking about, but it was One Piece. We in your head, nigga. Stop playing with me.
Hey, yo, all right. What is it? Email or something?
Yeah, check your email. Disney Plus is a one-time passcode.
Hi, Dylan.
Hey, Taunt. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent, love. I'm doing good. I'm on live right now. We yapping. Tay, you should have seen it. Hey, Tay, when you review this one, bro, go through the first. Yo, bro, wait till you watch this shit. It's the stupidest shit you'll ever see. All right. The code is 196152.
196152.
Yeah.
Dylan, give me one. I troll you on your live.
Say again, Tanti.
Do you see me when I troll you on your live?
Of course I see you. I always say, hey, it's Tanti.
No, it's Wilbur Trees.
I know. All right, I gotta go. I gotta get back to the show.
Thanks, bro. Peace.
All right, yep. All right, so yeah, Karibo, where was I with this? Yeah, so you said Amaterasu is selective. My issue with that would be, number one, when Sasuke used Amaterasu on Killer B and it hit Karin, it was selectively on Killer B to injure him as best as it could, and it did minimal damage to Karin's back, and it was on her back for several seconds. That's number one. Number two, when he used it on Madara, before Madara, well, actually, first off, there's discrepancies if Madara absorbed it or he just shed it or dropped his armor. In either case, in either scenario, Madara was also undamaged, right? And then we had the case with Nagato. He really hit Nagato, meant to hurt Nagato. Nagato wasn't burned that bad at all. So there's also 3 instances for your ass too, right? And only one of your instances is burning steel. But yeah, we're going to get to the video because if I yap with you guys all night, we won't finish a goddamn thing.
Confident enough to challenge the Mafia and powerful enough to take out an entire squad of Chimera ants. In this hypothetical, the Phantom Troupe infiltrates the country of Escort 2 to plunder the government for their hidden treasures, but actually come into contact with Neferpitou. The royal guard who was protecting the royal palace sensed a cluster of powerful auras and considered them a threat to the king. I do hypothetical Hunter x Hunter versus battles like this all the time, and do scaling videos for other series like One Punch Man and Jujutsu Kaisen as well. So if you're interested in that, then hey, subscribe. It's always greatly appreciated and helps me focus more time onto making content. At the time of the Chimera Ant arc, the Phantom Troupe's forces had been greatly diminished as Uvogen and Pakunoda died in York New. Hisoka had withdrawn from the troop, and the only replacement so far had been Kaluto Zoldyck, who is admittedly weaker than even some of the lower tier troop members.
Real talk, you guys.
How we get hit with an
$3
ad?
medium.
How we get hit with an ad 2 minutes in? Oh well. Ab-Stract, Gigi would be at a disadvantage against Naruto characters. Her ability would be useless because nobody making her bleed. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. But nah, Gigi let some fodder Soul Reapers cut her up. They'd be, yeah.
Only recently gotten his Nen abilities back, meaning there likely isn't any preparation time he could exploit. Realistically, he's going into this country expecting only to fight military forces and maybe a few Nen users. He wouldn't be expecting to fight a Royal Guard Chimera Ant. I know this might seem unfair to consider the troop in this weakened version, however I'm trying to make this an actual fight that could happen in the real story, not some kind of mishmash hypothetical. In fairness, if the Phantom Troupe really did get that close to Meruem's palace, there's a strong possibility that Poof and Yuppie would come to Pito's aid, so I consider losing Uvogen and especially Pakunoda a pretty fair trade-off. Pito will be considered as she was at the end of the Chimera Ant arc with all her developed abilities. Basically, just imagine instead of Netero and Zeno falling from the sky, Pito sensed the Nen of the troop approaching the palace. If you're curious about a more no-nonsense every single Phantom Troupe versus all 3 Royal Guards, check out this video. It's pretty old, but I still consider it a pretty decent analysis. I'll briefly go over each troop member and their general abilities. To get a better idea of their full capabilities, check out my ranking video on the troop. Not to keep shilling myself, but of course I do have to keep things pretty brief for our versus video. Cortopi is ranked dead last in raw strength among the troop, and his ability Gallery Fake, which creates copies of whatever he touches, doesn't have much benefit in a fight outside of prep perhaps. He was kind of standing on the business in front of Phaeton and Finks in York New, but even Phaeton seemed to kind of laugh this off. Kaluto's Zoldyck with years of assassination training and with the ability to manipulate paper. This ability, Dance of the Serpent Bite, had enough power to rip a Chimera Ant officer into pieces, but he still lacked confidence when comparing himself to the other members nearby. Shizuku is ranked rather low in terms of physical strength, but when using her vacuum called Blinky, could punch holes into the skin of Pike. Her vacuum can suck any non-living material.
Do you guys think the Phantom Troupe makes Pito bleed? I think Kite by himself scrubbed her up a little bit. And if you think Kite is relative to the troop or massively above the troop, let me know that as well. But if you think they make her bleed, it might be a GG if make her bleed than Binky.
As seen when she drained Pike's blood from the many holes she made on his skin. Causing this amount of damage to officer class ants is actually pretty impressive, seeing as Ramot, Barrow, and Centipede all pushed Gon to get pretty serious before they even had Nen, even surviving a full power John Kent from him after his intense training in Greed Island. Shellnark supposedly has even more raw strength than Shizuku, but he admits he can't even deal with a Chimera Ant peon in an altercation, and resorts to his manipulation Nen ability. This is notable as peons are even lower than the officer ants like Ramot or Pike, but also haven't even learned Nen. Melioron tells Gon that a squadron leader like Zazan could kill peons with one punch, putting Shellnark's physical capabilities far below that of squadron leaders.
Ooh.
Once his manipulation ability Black Voice failed.
Wow, see, that's some good inverse scaling. I didn't consider that, actually. That's really funny, actually. That's crazy. Never considered that.
To work due to another Chimera Ant manipulating Pell, he uses his autopilot ability, which makes...
Alright, hold up. I'm seeing too many things going on in the chat that I'm not a part of. And honestly, guys, we don't have to watch the video. If we want to yap all night in the chat, we can do that too. Let me know. Y'all want me in on this conversation, or we want to watch the video? Because honestly, It's looking kind of fun. It's looking kind of fun. I ain't gonna lie. We can make the whole video. We can make the whole night yapping. I do not mind. What we doing? We watching the video or we yapping? Cause I want to get in on this. Let me see, man. How do I do this? How do I go to my live stream? My own live stream. I'd rather yap in the chat. Nah, I want to see Pito whoop these spider bums. Yap, man, yap. I don't know. What we do? I don't know. I gotta see. I need some more opinions. We got one for yap, one for video. I do a live stream or a poll, but I don't know how to do that. Well, I mean, I think I have to be on my thing to do that. Okay. Okay, Mugetsu wants to watch your video. Revenant wants to watch your video. Alright, just making sure. Let's go back. That's weird. Pito, I want to watch the video, but there's so many Itachi victims. Hey, Karibo, this is all your goddamn fault. This is all Karibo's fault anyway, yo. But alright, cool. I'll join in after the video then. I'm gonna head out, G. It's 3 a.m. Oh shit, it's 3 a.m. Alright, hey, Igno, thank you for stopping by, bro. I appreciate you, man. Take it easy. And yo, you need to go live more often too, bro. I wanna sit in some of your lives as well, my friend. 1/2 speed if you want. Good idea. Because he's gonna explain all the troops' abilities, which I don't think I need to hear. So we can definitely do this at like half the speed. Where is... Yeah, let's do that.
And powerful enough to destroy both Pell and Boku. When witnessing this, Boku can't believe the amount of aura Sean had. However,
holy shit, 2 a.m. for me too. My 9J brother, there you go. Wait, hey, yo, where do y'all live? If it's 2 a.m. for you, you gotta be on the... Are you in the Midwest? Nah, you can't be in the Midwest. Yeah, you know, where y'all coming from? Where y'all live from, bro?
it's questionable how much he actually knows about aura, as the squadron leaders only recently learned Nen. He was probably never seen them in combat. We also don't know if he ever sensed Pito's aura in combat either, so it's hard to say. It's safe to say he's above Kaluto, and that's about it. Nobunaga is part of the troop's combat squad alongside Finks and Phaeton, and was originally partnered with Uvogin, someone stated to be almost unbeatable in a one-on-one fight. Grollo stated that Nobunaga's duty in the troop was to put his life on the line to protect support members like Shizuku, meaning at the very least he should be able to dice up officer-class ants such as Pike with relative ease. On top of that, Nobunaga is an Aido master, extending his aura to the range of his blade and instantly cutting down any opponent who enters his end.
Okay, got you. So birthdays from the East Coast. Hey, same here, bro. I actually live in I live in Maryland, but I'm streaming here from North Carolina. Ignil is from the UK. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Good shit. And you plan on doing lives next week? Hey, bro, I'm gonna definitely tune in. Please do go live, bro. Tune in, please. I'm gonna tune in. You giving Netero the pass? I'd let him say it. Ab-Stract, you giving? Why are you asking me that, bro? Why are you asking me that? I'm not answering that.
It's stated in the Hunter Encyclopedia, he is the best fighter in the troop, at least in terms of combat skills like martial arts and swordsmanship. Franklin and Machi are unfortunately pretty featless, but are at least confident in how they stack up to other troop members. Machi, who thought she'd at least escape from Phaeton and Finks if things went south at the end of York New, and Franklin, who had no qualms about fighting Nobunaga. Therefore, I think it's at least fair to put them around the same level as Nobunaga, but not quite as skilled, as he literally is the most skilled troop member. They are also confident in potentially fighting Hisoka, who they all know is a very capable fighter as well. Machi's Nen threads give her added versatility, able to subdue opponents or heal her wounded allies as seen in Hisoka. Bonolenov and Finks both deal with their Chimera Ant opponents with relative ease, defeating each one in one blow once they use their heavy hitting attacks. Battle Contabulate Jupiter, and Ripper Cyclotron. It should be noted, however, that Bonolenov's first attack, a Spear Nen ability, did no damage to his opponent, and Fink's Nen Enhanced Punch was compared to a mosquito bite by the Gorilla Chimera Ant he fought. After witnessing Zazan fight Phaeton, they are both confident they'd be able to defeat her, even after watching her transform and getting the immense durability to take Phaeton's full power sword strike.
People are always taking pics of me, but they're sleeping on
Nigga said
me.
I'd give beyond the pass. That's crazy.
While this could just be overconfidence, we will give them the benefit of the doubt and place them on squadron leader level, or maybe a little bit higher. Finks is considered a very adept combatant in hand-to-hand with a strong balance of offense and defense, while Bonolenov has the special ability to change his form of those he's met before, and, make annoying noises. Okay. Phaeton is the last member of the troupe's combat team, and he was able to fight Zazan in her base form while being out of shape. After beating all their opponents, the other troop members like Shalnark and Finks thought Zazan actually looked pretty strong, implying Zazan was more powerful than her ant soldiers. Despite that, Phaeton can keep up with and even overpower Zazan with nothing but his base physical abilities and Nen reinforcement. This automatically puts him in a higher echelon than those listed before, seeing as they needed their Nen abilities. After her transformation, Phaeton could do nothing against her extreme level of durability, and instead activated his Pain Packer ability and created a Rising Sun, a fireball that cooked Zazan to a crisp and made all the other troop members run away or risk annihilation. This particular Pain Packer was on the weaker side according to Phaeton himself, on top of him being rusty, yet he still has the best feats out of every Phantom Troop member listed so far. Krollo is the leader of the Phantom Troop and the strongest member, at least according to the guidebook. He's capable of fending off two Zoldyck assassins at the same time using nothing but basic Nen enhancement, his own innate skill, and an oversized washcloth, with both Zoldicks doing everything in their power to take Krollo down, even ready to lay down their lives. This is the same Zeno and Silva Zoldyck that thought Chimera Ant squadron leaders like Chitu were a waste of time and crush his head with one punch. He's considered to be Hisoka's ultimate opponent, even more powerful than Killua, Illumi, the Zoldicks, the rest of the Phantom Troop, and many more powerful characters. In the Yu Yu Hakusho official character book, Hunter x Hunter section, Krollo was listed as having greater combat abilities than most squadron leader Chimera Ants like Chitu and Zazan. All this paints a pretty consistent picture that Krollo is a very high-tier combatant and should be considered above squadron leader level. He also wields an arsenal of Nen abilities thanks to Skill Hunter. While he's not as stacked as he was when he fought Hisoka, as that fight saw him prep for a long time, he still has quite the kit.
Hey yo, real quick, I love the way he is breaking this down. Putting this in 125th the speed or 175, whatever, up in the speed, this was a good decision. Professor Fiction is actually cooking right now. I'm enjoying this. This is a very solid breakdown of the troop, their abilities. Like, I was thinking, like, I might not need it, but this is actually a really good breakdown. I like this. He's doing really good.
Teleportation, trapping opponents within Fun Fun Cloth, a poisonous Ben's knife that can paralyze a whale, that combined with his top-tier intelligence and planning, make Krollo a force to be reckoned with. Now for P2, the first Royal Guard had an oppressive presence the moment they were born. Officer and leader class ants considered the royals akin to a higher life form that they couldn't even be compared to. Pito is immediately introduced power-wise by annihilating Kite with little effort, seemingly only taking a small cut to the cheek before decapitating the hunter. In the following volume, it is said, encountering their most formidable foe yet, Gon and Killua barely escape with their lives. Most formidable foe is a very important statement, because that means Pito, before they even learned any Nen abilities, was more powerful than every other enemy in the series so far. After seeing the full power of Isaac Netero, Colt still believed the chairman would lose to the Royal Guards. This doesn't mean Netero would lose, as obviously Netero's main weapon is his speed and the Gonyan Bodhisattva, but having more aura than Netero is more impressive than you might think. In a recent exposition, we learn more about Nen, and we actually get a gauge for how good certain characters are at using Nen. In it, we learn that Netero is a level ultimate enhancer, while Uvogin, the physically strongest member of the troop, is one level lower. Usually being more skilled in Nen doesn't automatically make you stronger. For example, this same chart shows Kortopi above Shizuku and Knuckle. That doesn't mean Kortopi is stronger than those two or anything. However, enhancement Nen is literally just how good you are at strengthening your body. If Netero is better at using enhancement techniques than Uvogin, that means he should simply be more powerful than every single Phantom Troop member. And by extension, so would Pito. Pito isn't just strong, but a glutton for punishment. A direct hit from Netero's Gonyan Bodhisattva did pretty much no damage, and they took a tail slap from Meruem with intent to kill. The same tail slap that blew the heads of leader-class Chimera Ants into non-existence. Even Silva Zoldyck only managed to cave Chitu's head in, whereas Meruem's attacks pretty much just erased them. Pito is also a genius and a master of Nen, learning top-tier Nen abilities.
Whoa, sorry about that. All right, let's be real. Nobody else in the trip outside of Krollo banging with Hisoka. Hell, you could make the argument Krollo not even boxing Hisoka in neutral battlefield. You could make that argument. Chrollo needed to handcraft the perfect scenario to even fight Hisoka, and bro was running and hiding the whole fight. He ain't swapping hands with the Diddy clown. Going to finish Hunter x Hunter. Going to go back to the 90s version first. The 90s version was nice, but I think the 2011 version is the best. I've seen some side-by-side comparisons, and the OG one seems to have more gore. Was it more gory? It might have been. It's been a while since I've seen that. Ab-Stract, do you agree that Hisoka is stronger than Chrollo? I personally just can't see Chrollo going toe-to-toe with him in a neutral environment. If you mean like physically stronger and swap hands stronger, that's a tough one. I believe 90% of the reason why Chrollo decided not to fight Hisoka head-on was because Chrollo understands that if Hisoka does actually land bungee gum, mind you, you can't fight at 100% while using Gyo. So you have two options. You can either use Gyo at the risk of not covering your body in aura, or you cannot use Gyo and do your best to anticipate where Hisoka's threats are going to be. So in a direct fight and in a direct confrontation, I would actually say they might be even as far as skill with the pure strength going to Hisoka, but I think the primary reason Chrollo decided to fight the way he did was because if Hisoka landed multiple bungee gums on him, it would have ended the fight. I think that's just true, honestly. If he landed multiple bungee gums on him, he would have ended the fight. That depends on Chrollo's prep. It could depend on his prep too, yeah. That's what I mean. No prep, just hands. Oh, no prep, just hands? If it's just hands, I got Hisoka. I think Hisoka's a better fighter. That wouldn't be Chrollo, though. His fighting style relies heavily on prep, so Hisoka would win. Ab-Stract, did you know that bungee gum has the properties of both rubber and gum? I actually didn't. Definitely more gory. Okay, we should talk about Chainsaw Man. I like Chainsaw Man. I don't know if I like it enough to like cover it, but I do like it. It was cool. Same way Gojo wins if Sukuna doesn't use 10 shadows. Same way Yamamoto wins if Yuha and Aizen don't prep. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even caught up on Chainsaw Man as far as like the manga and stuff. I only seen the anime. The anime was cool though. I liked it. I might rewatch it. It's been a while.
In a matter of days. While Dr. Blythe won't be of much help in this scenario as it requires Pito to lower their Nen defenses, Pito has a variety of different manipulation abilities which she uses to control corpses like puppets. When going into battle mode, Pito uses Terpsichora, which controls her own body like a puppet and enhances her physical abilities beyond its limit. Even her basic applications of Nen are god tier, displaying the most impressive use of N we've seen in the series that stretches to 2 kilometers, dwarfing even Xenozoldic's feat of 300 meters. On that note, I think it's pretty safe to say
yes, 2 kilometers is ridiculous, but 300 meters is also fucking ridiculous. Have you guys ever ran 300 meters? That's about a third of the track field. That's ridiculous. That his aura can stretch that far. That's ridiculous.
But in terms of one-on-ones, Pito has every member of the Phantom Troupe utterly outclassed. Being physically stronger than Uvogan and being Gon's strongest enemy so far, which includes most of the Phantom Troupe, is enough to say Pito is on a higher level. As well as the fact that most of the Phantom Troupe struggled with leader or even officer ants and needed to use their Nen abilities to defeat them. The fact Think's normal punches couldn't even scratch a normal Chimera Ant officer means he would do even worse against Pito. And Bonolenov's whose spear only knocks down a soldier ant would fare about the same. Beitan is a bit better, but even he really caps at trading blows with squadron leader ants, squadron leaders who admit Pito is on another level. And he still thought base Zazan's skin was very difficult to break through, even before she transformed. Yes, he was rusty, but being rusty doesn't automatically mean you're nothing compared to your prime. We need feats to say Prime Phaeton could fight someone on the level of Pito. Chrollo might be able to put up some kind of fight on account of being relative to Xenozoldic. After Pito and Zeno sensed each other's powers, Pito grew immensely excited for combat, and Netero thought Zeno would be helpful during the mission. It should be noted that Zeno's mission was not assassinating royal guards, but get the royal guards away from the king, which is why he launched Dragon Dive to cause confusion and large-scale destruction. while he might...
You know what? Kite might have really been him. Because Kite was out here one-tapping squadron leaders. Like that Minotaur, he got one tap by Kite. Very easily. Shot him right in the head. I'm not saying the Phantom Troupe did bad, but now that I think about it, Kite was kind of styling.
be able to put up a decent fight, good enough to keep Pito distracted, it doesn't actually mean that Zeno or Crollo are equal or stronger than any Royal Guard. You might be saying, but wasn't Kite able to draw blood from Pito? Kite isn't as strong as Crollo or Phaeton, so surely they'd be able to do the same. Kite's ability, Crazy Slots, conjures different weapons based entirely on luck, and every time we see him use this in the series, he considered it bad luck. We don't exactly know what kind of weapons Kite got to use in his final battle, but Jing does imply Kite has some sort of near-death special weapon, which is impossible to say Crollo was stronger than. It's entirely possible that near-death, Nen Amp Kite is just that powerful. Even then though, people often forget that Pito was only using Kite to test their own abilities, and might have taken their time and played with Kite, purposely letting him land attacks that she otherwise could have dodged. In fact, we know that Pito was holding back here, at least in terms of speed, since it's confirmed later that Pito could have jumped twice as fast as she did when she ripped Kite's arm off, and this is still Pito before learning anything about Nen. Of course, the true members do have other abilities that amplify them beyond their base skills.
See, but the thing is, even with that, the only reason Kite still got hit though is because he was trying to save Gon. Like, he'd been since P2. So even at double the speed, as long as he had enough time to react, which he should have enough time to move meters out of the way, yeah, he should be able to dodge her from that distance.
I just wanted to get this out of the way to establish that the weaker members aren't bringing much to the table. Fink's Ripper Cyclotron has shown no known upper limit, but he himself admitted he needed about 7 to 8 spins of his arms just to deal with an Officer Chimera Ant, and his ability has a charge-up time. Pito, who has a...
Isn't 300 meters like 700 feet? I don't know the actual conversion, but I'm just basing everything off of a track field. The 300 meter dash, it was a long... It's not like super long, but it's pretty long. It's pretty long.
Sixth sense to detect major threats, as seen with Gon, wouldn't get caught off guard and would just decapitate Finks immediately after charging Ripper Cyclotron. We have no idea how much he'd need to spin his arm to hurt a Royal Guard, but keep in mind, Gon needed to sacrifice his entire life and Nen in order to achieve power to surpass Pito. Phaeton's Pain Packer transforms the damage he takes into pain, meaning, just like Finks, it relies on other conditions and has a bit of a charge-up time. Pito would most likely decapitate Phaeton in all honesty, or with her speed to jump kilometers in seconds, could easily just escape the effective range of Pain Packer and let Rising Sun fizzle out without it doing anything. Remember, for Pain Packer to work, Phaeton needs to take damage without dying. Machi is an adept healer who can attach missing arms if Pito ever rips them off, as she did with Kite, but her ability to restrain opponents is somewhat limited, as it's explained her threads at max strength can only support about 1 ton of weight, something base Killua could do with ease. Pito would likely rip out of the restraints with ease. Shellnark's manipulation ability couldn't even pierce the shell of a Chimera Ant Peon, the lowest class of Chimera Ant that would get one-shot by leaders. It wouldn't even get through Pito's Nen defenses that blocked a smack from the above Uvogan level Chairman Netero, or her naturally enhanced durability. It would be like Phaeton versus Transformed Zazan all over again. Autopilot at best puts him above base Zazan for shocking one of her soldiers, but we have no reason to believe it would ever pose a threat to Pito. The other members like Franklin and Nobunaga are more or less very skilled brawlers, but don't have anything that could handle Pito's absurd physical power.
So basically, the troop is cooked. A 1,000 feet? Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty impressive. But what I'm getting from this video, and he don't even gotta say it, the troop is cooked. These niggas don't win. I never really put their feats inverse into consideration how he's doing. He's doing a really good job of breaking down why they lose inverse.
Power and durability. No amount of swordsmanship can overcome.
And I'm saying inverse like there's an like cross-verse. I don't know why I'm doing that. But he's making a really good argument of why they lose.
That gap in raw strength. Now, I know it might seem like I'm trashing on the troop quite a bit, however I do think there are ways they could win, and they mainly revolve around Crollo, Bonolenov, and Shizuku, funny enough. That does depend on how quickly Crollo manages to formulate a plan and how well the troop can coordinate with one another, so keep in mind I'm not so sure how well this would work in reality. Strange as it sounds, Bonolenov's weird, annoying whistling sound might have a more intense effect on Pito, whose feline biology bestowed her enhanced hearing. If this slows down Pito or causes them to be distracted, it leaves her open to attack and might allow other troop members, namely Finks, to launch their main attacks. If we take
That's a good idea.
cutting Pito's cheek at face value, ignore the context, and her taking a Guanyin slap, I think it's very reasonable to say they could at least hurt Pito a bit. From there, Shizuku can use her vacuum to suck Pito's blood away, while the rest of the members basically act as meat shields to slow her down. That, or Chrollo uses the Fun Cloth and traps the dazed Pito while she's distracted by other members. Maybe even uses his teleportation to throw her off even more. There's a lot of different ways it could go just due to how many members there are. This sounds like a great plan, but relies heavily on the troupe basically instantly working together and coordinating, something we know they don't do based on Uvogin and Phaeton. It also assumes that several key troop members, Chrollo, Bonolenov, and Shizuku and Finks, aren't taken out before they can start this strategy, or that some of them aren't paralyzed when Pito unleashes her ominous aura, which caused many powerful and veteran hunters to freeze in shock and fear. While the Phantom Troupe are ruthless fighters, Pito's Nen was even more evil than Hisoka or Illumi. There's also the simple fact that Bonolenov's whistling will affect the troupe as well. There's just too much benefit of the doubt you need to give the troupe to consider this a valid plan. Pito, on the other hand, doesn't really need a plan. She's powerful enough to rip apart every member of the troupe with her bare hands, and tanky enough that most of their attacks won't even phase her. Yes, she is fighting the entire Phantom Troupe, but team busting is not foreign for Royal Guards. Over the course of the Palace invasion, Yuppie fought off a team of Knuckle, Shoot, Killua, and Morel, and while he didn't exactly kill them, pretty much all of them would have died if not for Melioron camouflaging them or Nov's last-minute arrival to bring everyone to the hospital. At the climax of the battle, when Knuckle deactivated Hakaware, APR had only built up about half of Yuppie's overall aura, and their only strategy was to run away until it collected all his aura and sealed his Nen away, meaning they were never actually close to beating Yuppie in a direct confrontation. The only damage Yuppie even took was one missing eyeball from Shoot and a couple zaps from Killua. Pito is confirmed in the manga and in both databooks to be the most powerful Royal Guard, stated to hold power second only to Meruem himself and the most powerful soldier of the king. This is supported later as well, as Ikalgo believes that even with all the remaining hunters there, Pito would annihilate all of them. And keep in mind, the hunters came in with a plan and over a week of preparation and knowledge on their enemies. While for the Phantom Troupe, this is a totally random encounter against an unknown adversary. The main strategy the hunters used to beat Yuppie was Knuckles' Hakaware, installing Yuppie until he ran out of aura, but that's something the Phantom Troupe can't do. They have no choice but to fight Pito to the absolute end, and they don't have any abilities to counter raw, overwhelming strength except those I already mentioned. Something else to consider, one of Pito's main abilities is manipulating corpses as puppets. We don't know the exact conditions of how this ability works, but if we assume it has a little setup, then Pito might just be able to control each troop member as she defeats them, making her own small army of elite Nen users to help her win the battle. In conclusion, while there are ways the spy
Mugetsu, you're disgusting. Pito is an it, not a she. You're nasty.
could emerge victorious, I think the Royal Guard would win most of the time, being far stronger than Uvogin in raw power and boasting top-tier Nen abilities and intelligence, and the durability to tank attacks from the strongest hunter on the planet, make it pretty hard to say the Phantom Troupe could win a fight with a serious Neferpitou. She has the feats and scaling to say she could take on teams of elite Nen users like Morel and Knuckle while barely breaking a sweat, and could potentially turn fallen spiders against their allies. Despite their best efforts, the Phantom Troupe would fall prey to the strongest Royal Guard.
Ayo, Mugetsu, the fact that you didn't say she is even more concerning. You're nasty. Doesn't Professor Fiction have a PhD in physics? Because I watched his Gara video months ago, and it was really, really good. If he does, I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of people are smart as shit, honestly, so. Is this my live? Hey, look, it's my live. What if I spectate myself? She is even more concerning. You're nasty. This is like some. All right, this is some. What's this called? I watched his Gara video months ago, and it was really, really good. This is some third, fourth. No, this is some fifth wall shit, yo. I wonder how this is gonna be when it catches up. Hey, look, it's my live. What if I spectate myself? I just broke the fourth wall. This is like some. All right. This is some. I'm getting a loop back, yo. I'm getting a feed loop back. Third, fourth. No, this is some. This is crazy, yo. I wonder how this is gonna be when it catches up. Hey, what if I spectate myself? How many times are going to... Yo, this is crazy. How many times I'm going to spectate myself?
Back. Yo, get a feed loop back. Third, fourth. No, this is crazy, bro.
Yo, hold up. It's still going.
Crazy. How many times I'm going to spectate myself?
It's still going, guys. Yo, hold up. It's still going.
Crazy. How many times I'm going to spectate myself?
It's still going, guys. Yo, this is hilarious. Yo, hold up. It's still going.
Crazy. How many times I'm going to spectate myself?
It's still going, guys. Yo, this is hilarious. This is going to crash. This is going to crash. This is going to crash, and I'm here for it, yo.
This is hilarious.
This is going to crash. I'm here for it, though. This is hilarious. This is going to crash, and I'm here for it, yo.
This is hilarious.
This is going to crash. I've invaded my own live. I've invaded my own live. This is going to crash, and I'm here for it, yo. Bro, about to crash the stream into the Ab-Stract verse. Hey, yo, that's hard. P2 is a she in the anime, but a she/she in the manga. Into the Ab-Stract. I still hear me laughing, bro. Alright. P2 is a she in the anime, but let me get out of here, bro. She in the manga. Boy, oh boy. Bro, about to break space time. Oh god, I can't wait for that. I can't wait to watch this back just for that moment. That's gonna be great. I can't wait to watch that back. Hey, yo, Red, who you had between JC and Verb, bro? Who you had between JC and A Verb? Oh, bro got hit by Gold Experience Requiem. Ab-Stract, you think Hiei is soloing Hunter x Hunter? Are we? I hope we're not talking about Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. I hope we're not talking about that Hiei. P2 is hot. Domain expansion Trollverse. That's fire. Ayo Moo, I hope we're not talking about Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. There better be another Hiei. I hate both those bums. Wait, you don't like JC or Verb? That's crazy, bro. How you not like Verb? Verb is fire. Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho is obliterating. Yeah, Moo. If you're talking about Hiei, bro, don't ever mention him with JJK. Don't ever mention him with Hunter x Hunter. Don't ever mention him with any verse that isn't really Bleach or Dragon Ball. JC to me is mid, and Verb, I never liked him. MFW, Hunter x Hunter has FTL scaling in the very first arc. Nah, bro, it doesn't. And if it does, it goes against... It breaks this... no, I'm not even going to say that. Yeah, no, I don't agree with that, bro. Hey, from Yu, bro. Bro, yeah. Yeah. But all right, we getting to 10:30. Well, this was fun. This is one of the first times we actually finished the video without like it being a total yap session. So that was actually a nice achievement. We're going to go ahead and call it tonight, guys. Tomorrow I'm going to, should I recommend a video? You can recommend, yeah. So Ronan, go ahead and recommend a video for tomorrow. I'm going to stream tomorrow. I'm going to spend most of tomorrow working on Kakashi versus Toshiro, but you can definitely recommend a video. Dragon Ball destroys Yu. I mean, yeah, no, I think Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball should, but then there are really good arguments for Yu Yu Hakusho. Is the Gnome's main event? I hope not. I don't know, bro. Like, I literally just saw the announcement for Gnome. I think I saw Eunice. Who did I see? Eunice versus somebody. And I was like, ugh, it's rookies versus vets again, bro. Fun stream. See you around. Yeah. Hey, Ronan, go ahead and recommend whatever show you wanted to movie show. Whatever video you wanted to recommend. We can definitely take a look at it. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be mainly me doing Kakashi versus Toshiro, working on that. studying for my IT stuff. Speaking of which, Red, how is your comp TA plus or security plus thing going? How much progress have we made? How much progress have we made on that stuff? Eunice is fire, not gonna lie. I saw him versus franchise fire battle. I like Eunice. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. Here's the thing though, I kinda don't like the new niggas for battle rap. Like, I'm really an OG, first class fan, the Mooks, the Luxes, the Daylights, the Sue Surfs, the K Shines, DNAs. I'm really like that generation, that class of rappers. These new niggas, like, don't get me wrong, I like Twerk, I like Geechee, I like Av, I like B-Dot, of course, I like all them. But these new niggas, I don't like these niggas. I don't like them. The definitive Bleach power scale cosmology and power. I think Shinigami recommended that video. Now, I don't know if we watched it. Okay. If it's this one, we can definitely watch that. It's 10 minutes. Looks like I've watched some of his content already. Bleach, slower than you think. Yeah, no, we can watch it. Yeah, let's do that. We can do that tomorrow. Oh, the Ultimate Bleach Guide, Cosmology, Power, Speed. Yeah, no, we can do this tomorrow. I'm with it. We can definitely do that. Everyone has a similar foundational kit, but there's some unique spins from characters like Hit. I've been slacking with my lazy black ass, but I did get some practice labs, which helped me a lot. That's dope, bro. That's dope. Ab-Stract, the moment mumble rap became a thing, it was raps for the whole thing. Do you mean for the whole rap genre, or do you mean for battle rap? If you mean for battle rap, I can kind of get what you mean, but then again, because, well, there was the whole era of just gun bar, and no one was actually like pushing the rap bar for rapping, except for people like Daylight and Chillick Jones and Writer's Block people, Danny Myers and all them. The only characters with actual cool abilities in Dragon Ball are fighter that get curb stomped by the big laser merchants. Daylight be saying some shit that takes you weeks to finally break down. Hey, yo, wait, Ronan, you be watching battle rap too? Oh, shit. All right, hold up. So we have me, Kai, Ronan, and Red. Hey, yo, we might have to have a battle rap stream one day. Oh, boy. I didn't know you guys watch battle rap. If I knew you guys watched battle rap, we would have been talking about this stuff. I really, really hate Lux. I cheer whenever I see him lose. Overrated legend, bro is dumb trash. Sure you don't rock with Nitty? Bro, the best rapper among them all. So here's my thing with Nitty. Well, did you watch Nitty versus Rum Nitty versus Ilmac? Because Rum Nitty versus Ilmac pretty much encapsulates everything that I don't like about Nitty. Mind you, yes, everything you just said is true. Nitty is probably one of the best to ever do it. No hyperbole. No exaggeration. He probably is one of the best to ever do it. Definitely, without a doubt, the greatest puncher battle rap has ever seen, in my opinion. One of the best rappers as far as putting it together. I don't know about like rapping, but he's one of the best rappers, right? But Ilmac versus Rum Nitty kind of encapsulated all the problems I have with Rum Nitty. He really is only a one-trick pony. Like, the stuff he does, for me, I can only take one round of it before I'm like, all right, I'm tired of this. What else can you do, Rum? Like, you're really good at punching, but what else can you do at a high level? And he doesn't really show what else he can do at a high level. It's all punching, and it's all kind of the same thing for me. That's what happens when the power overcoming hacks is part of the power system. I just want to see how you rack the keys take, LOL. Definitely, yeah. We can do that tomorrow. It's called lazy writing. Toyotaro gotta stop giving the cool powers to scrubs. But rap is on the rise again. There's no mumbles for battle rap, LOL. Daylight, my mans. So Chaos, you watch battle rap too, or at least you're familiar with Daylight. Power over hacks is made for lazy solutions. This is crap. If Daylight y'all mans, why y'all let Joey Badass spank the entire coast? Oh shit. Alright, so first off, you know what? I really want to play the record. I really want to play it. We can do it tomorrow though. Did you watch Mickey Fax's breakdown, Red, on Daylight, Ayo, and Joe Budden the Town? Did you watch that, bro? It's fucking ridiculous. Daylight 30. I occasionally watch battle rap. Lil Deluxe is my goat. Though he been falling off lately, he don't got the same fire he used to. He getting older. Joey ain't spanked nobody. Okay, maybe he spanked Von. Yeah. Yeah, he did good against those other guys. See, the thing that hurt Daylight, though, was his first track wasn't that crazy. It wasn't, like, bad, but it wasn't crazy. It wasn't like, yo, you Daylight. You a battle rapper. You need to go in. It wasn't that. Is it really because these new kids sound like they just make random noises more than actually saying a song lyric? That's part of it. I never seen that battle. I see 98% of his battles, though. I think their best battles are in small leagues. That's fair. Like the Riot where he battled A Ward, that was a small. I mean, you can call the Riot a small league. That was a good one. I hate them corny rappers who go into battle rap is used as a skill showcase rather than an actual battle. Right. I hate them corny rappers who go onto a battle rap is used as a skill showcase rather than an actual battle. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, but after the whole K. Dot versus Drake beef, people are paying more attention to the lyrical rap. I agree. Joey spanked the entire coast to the point they started to pay homage in 3 separate diss tracks. So here's the thing. You can call it paying homage. You can call it that, and it wouldn't be inaccurate to say that Daylight ended the beef himself, or ended at least the dissing himself with the end credits thing. But even that is a masterful display of just how crazy he gets with his pen and his writtens and his rapping in general. Joey can't do that. Key is a dude I'm cool with, so don't go too hard on him. Hey, nah, we good, man. It's all, you know, we good. If y'all like him, I love him. K-Dot ducking Joey again. Joey ain't relevant. Not gonna lie, Game should have stayed underground. He just kept shooting himself in the foot by associating himself with people far above him. Yeah. Alright, cool. But alright, y'all, it's 10:30. I'm about to get out of here. Gonna call my lady, or my fiance, I can say, finally. And I'll catch you kids tomorrow. But take it easy, y'all. We out. Stop the stream, end the break.